So Harvard invited Chelsea Manning to teach, and as a result of that, establishment snowflakes went absolutely berserk. So Trevor Timm wrote in the New York Times about what happened next. He says, on Wednesday, Harvard's Kennedy School announced that Chelsea Manning, the former Army intelligence analyst and whistleblower, would be a visiting fellow this fall. The reaction was swift. A day later, Michael Morrell, a former acting director of the CIA and also a visiting fellow at the school, resigned from his own fellowship in protest. His resignation was quickly followed by the current director of the CIA, Mike Pompeo, canceling a speech scheduled at the school. In a statement, Mr. Pompeo unilaterally declared Miss Manning a traitor. On Friday morning, the school folded, disinviting Miss Manning in a cowardly act that does immense disservice to its students and the public debate around government secrecy. It's remarkable that one of the country's premier educational institutions would bow to CIA pressure and reject a person who has arguably done more to contribute to the public's understanding of world diplomacy than anyone else in modern times. In early 2010, Miss Manning leaked a trove of hundreds of thousands of State Department and Defense Department documents, an archive that opened an unparalleled window into American foreign policy. Its documents have been referenced by major news organizations so many times that it's impossible to count them. The important revelations in the Manning documents, originally leaked to WikiLeaks and published in conjunction with the New York Times and other newspapers, are also too numerous to name, but they include the fact that the United States had killed far more people in Iraq than the government had admitted publicly, that United States soldiers turned a blind eye to torture by Iraqi soldiers, and that the United States covered up the killing of civilians by American soldiers. Okay. So this is why Chelsea Manning is viewed as a hero, because she exposed war crimes that the U.S. committed. Now, furthermore, that actually led to the original drawdown of troops from Iraq. We've subsequently went back in there because our system is so horrendous that they decided, let's get back in there. But they couldn't get a status of forces agreement with the Iraqi government because the Iraqi government said, we just saw the war crimes you committed. We're not going to let you come back in here unless we can try the people who committed those war crimes in our courts. And the U.S. said no. So there was a drawdown of troops in Iraq. So we have Chelsea Manning to thank for the brief drawdown of troops in Iraq because she exposed the United States massacring civilians. There was a video of people killing people from the media and then laughing about it and saying, is that an enemy? I don't know. We killed him anyway. She exposed this. She exposed stuff that the American people should know. A democracy, we should have that information in a free representative democracy so we can make decisions as to who to vote in and who to vote out. Our government is killing innocent people with our money, in our name. Chelsea Manning leaks that information, and then everybody calls her a traitor. No, how about the government are the ones who were traitors? The people who were killing the innocent civilians with our money in our name. How about their traitors? So, notice the trick. Don't get mad at the people who committed the crimes. By the way, they didn't spend a day in jail. Chelsea Manning did. But don't get mad at the people who committed the crimes. Get mad at the people who exposed the crimes. That's how you perpetuate a broken, corrupt, permanent war state. That's how you do it. So Harvard has these cretins that are teaching or giving a speech. Morrell, hey, by the way, these CIA people who are teaching at Harvard are war criminals. These are people who participated in, sided with, advocated for torture. Torture. So violation of U.S. law, violation of the Constitution, violation of international law, violation of human rights, the Geneva Convention, the Nuremberg Tribunal. So they advocate torture. These are people who advocated arming Al-Qaeda. I'm not kidding. So in Syria, we got to arm the rebels, the rebels, the rebels. The U.S. policy has gone back and forth on Syria about 300 times. David Petraeus is somebody, he also had a speaking gig there. He said, let's arm Al-Qaeda. He actually leaked information to his mistress that was classified information. Didn't leak it for the public good, leaked it because somebody was touching his pecker. So, he liked the person. So here, you could have secrets. I'm not whistleblowing for the better of the country. I'm just going to give the person who plays with my pee-pee, top secret information. He gets to speak there. He gets to advocate arming Al-Qaeda, torturing. These people get to speak there. No problem whatsoever. By the way, they should be in jail. Let's be clear. If you, advocate torture, participated in torture, armed Al-Qaeda, you should be in jail. But no, they're revered. Oh, the CIA! Our government institutions are by definition correct, so they get to speak here. Mike Pompeo, he canceled his speech. Mike Pompeo's the head of the CIA right now. He said we should assassinate Edward Snowden. The guy advocates for extrajudicial killings of an American citizen. Let's kill Edward Snowden. No trial, no nothing. Just kill him. Let's have the CIA murder him. They want him, they're like, you speak. And then he resigns in protest as if his action should carry any weight to it. Like, motherfucker, you aspire to be a war criminal. You probably are. If you're running the CIA now, you probably already are a war criminal. I mean, we're talking about an institution that's whole fucking purpose was to overthrow democratically elected governments to do the bidding of our corporations so that we get the natural resources. It's like we live in a fucking sick movie. I mean, this is a joke. This is a joke. You have a hero, a whistleblower, who exposed war crimes, and the people who committed the fucking war crimes say, I'm resigning in protest unless you get rid of the whistleblower who exposed our crimes. These people should be in jail cells, man. They're the criminals. Chelsea Manning is a hero. But no, Harvard caves. And also, by the way, whole nother point and aspect of this is the fucking snowflakes on the right triggered by fucking heroes. Look, I'm the first one to come out and do segments whenever a guy like Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder or Milo Yiannopoulos or somebody on the right, if they're going to speak at a college campus and there's counter-protests and people want to deplatform them and say, we don't even want to allow you to speak, I disagree with those people, and I'm on the side of the people I despise. Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Milo Yiannopoulos, you name it. I'm fine with having them speak at college campuses because I actually believe in free speech. This is an instance where a fucking whistleblower who's a hero, who exposed U.S. crimes, was disinvited from a teaching gig, and I don't hear the people on the right standing up in solidarity and saying, come on, what are we talking about here? Are you serious? You're going to disinvite her? Where are you? Where are you? A bunch of triggered snowflakes said, oh, it's a microaggression to have a hero speak, and I don't hear you. Funny how that works. Every single time a right-winger is disinvited, I do a segment defending them, but when there's a left-winger, a hero in this instance who's disinvited, where the fuck are the segments of the right-wingers saying, you know what, look, man, this is all about free speech, this is all about free expression, you have to let her talk, don't disinvite her, this is crazy, what are you doing? Weird how the outrage over free speech only works one way. Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks was disinvited from speaking at a college because there were Trump supporters on the panel that decided to disinvite her. Where's the outrage over that? Rania Khalek. She's a left-winger. She's a journalist. And she was disinvited from speaking on the issue of Syria. Where the right-wingers say, I stand with Anna Kasparian, I stand with Rania Khalek, I stand with every single pro-Palestinian speaker who was disinvited. One of those happens, by the way, like every other month. There's either a pro-Palestinian professor or somebody who's going to come give a speech who's disinvited because people say, oh, he supports BDS, that's anti-Semitism, disinvite him. So, weird. You have genuine repression of ideas that are left-wing ideas, and the outrage over free speech doesn't seem to work both ways. It only seems to work when it's somebody like Milo Yiannopoulos. And again, I'm consistent on this. I'm fine with letting the right-winger speak, but I'd like to hear people get up in arms and argue for the free speech of left-wingers too when they're disinvited from college campuses, or they get a teaching gig jacked from them because some CIA snowflakes who are war criminals who should be in prison said, I'm against this. Harvard, shame on you. You are fucking pathetic, and you're a tool of the deep state. Literally, the head of the CIA. That is the definition of the deep state. I don't want you to do this. Yes, sir, we won't do this. Fuck you and your bending of the knee to the establishment. You have no idea how cowardly you look and how history will judge this. Because Chelsea Manning is a hero. And just like, remember Daniel Ellsberg and the Pentagon Papers? Hey, he showed that we're napalming and Agent Oranging innocent villages in Vietnam. Just like how that information was leaked. And at first everybody said, oh, traitor! Well, now everybody goes, that was a hero. What the fuck were we thinking? Well, what do you think is going to happen with Chelsea Manning? What do you think is going to happen with Edward Snowden? You already have people today who recognize these are heroes. What do you think is going to be like in 50 years? You think the tide is going to turn and all of a sudden people are going to think the CIA is a noble institution? Fuck off. Pathetic. Harvard is a disgusting joke, and this is the dumbest thing they could have done.